Do you guys ever watch like Selling Sunset or any of those things? They make us seem like all we want is like Louboutins and Mercedes. But that shouldn't be the truth. The truth should be, do you want freedom? Do you want independence? Do you want a better life for your family? Do you want to surround yourself by excellent people who enrich your life? Do you want a better lifestyle? Our why has to be bigger than our excuses. My name is Jessica Nelson. I'm with EXP and I'm from New Jersey.
My name is Melissa Valentine. I'm with EXP and I'm from Florida. My name is Liz Caceres. I'm with EXP and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Fantastic. So when we get into this industry, our why has to be bigger than our excuses. So what do I mean by that? Well, it's hard. You asking strangers, hey, I've never shown you a home. You don't know me from a can of paint, but I'm going to ask you for 3% of 500,000 right now in this 30-minute conversation. That is not the easiest thing to do. So what are we driven by? Why are we doing this? What's important to you? For me, my why is my family. My why is helping other women. What is your why? Because it can't just be material things. You know, do you guys ever watch like Selling Sunset or any of those things? They make us seem like all we want is like Louboutins and Mercedes. But that shouldn't be the truth. The truth should be, do you want freedom? Do you want independence? Do you want a better life for your family? Do you want to surround yourself by excellent people who enrich your life? Do you want a better lifestyle? So those are the things that push us forward when our deals fall apart. When the buyers tell us, you know what, I'm going to go with someone else instead. When the seller says, you know what, I don't want your full price offer, I'm good. So when all those bad things happen, we have to remember our why. Thank you, sir. Signs you need coaching. So this was me in 2020. I thought I had it all figured out. Ooh, I was that thing. Well, what happens when your production keeps going down? The things you used to do that worked for you, they stop working. You start to feel a little burnt out and you're not growing. Every year you're either doing a little less or the same as you've been doing. This is a sign that it might be time for you to get in coaching. Coaching for me, I started with two people, with the Mike Ferry organization and with Aaron Novello. EXP Icon, featured in Traded Magazine, $4 million a month in closed transactions for like 12 months straight. So coaching is something that if you can get it, it will help you. There are different ways. You know, you can pay a coach, you can join a team that offers coaching, whatever it is that's a good fit for you. Today I'm going to offer you guys coaching for free. Why am I doing that? There is no weird sales pitch at the end. I'm not going to ask you to buy my program. I'm not going to ask you to sign up for my mastermind that's $1,000 a month like most coaches do. I'm going to give you all of this for free, and then you're going to decide whether or not you would like to go further in a relationship with EXP. So the 5-step buyer process, that's what we're here to talk about today. So these are the 5 steps. You guys can write them down. So number 1 is consultation. In the past, especially at brokerages where they give you leads, what was your broker telling you guys to do? You got a Zillow lead. What were you told to do? Yep. And were you a jerk if you didn't just immediately get in your car and go meet them in 5 minutes? Yeah, that's what you were encouraged to do. Not only is that not safe, what else is it? It's not economically feasible business model for you. If you are spending all of your time getting in the car, meeting people, and then saying, okay, thanks, goodbye, are you making any money with your time? You're not. And here's something I learned from being in the industry for 10 years. Did you know that your license cannot be taken away from you? What can be taken away from you? Your access to the MLS. For all of you who don't understand why you had a good relationship with a person that you showed a home to with and they ghosted you, this is the reason why. There are agents right now instructing buyers, because they do not have access to the MLS, to, hey, Connect with them on Zillow. They'll show you the home. Then just ghost them. Those agents are using you to show the property because they do not have access to a super lockbox. Raise your hand if you knew this information already. Yeah. And I can tell that this room sells a lot of real estate. 3 out of 20 people knew that. So, are there any more signs? Somebody was just killed. You're now finding out that you're being used while someone else is writing your offer. Is there any more signs that you need this training? Good, I'm glad we're on the same page. Okay, buyer's consultation. So I prefer to do this in Zoom. Some people are like face-to-face people. You can do it in person, coffee shop, public place. It's good. This is the majority of the work you're going to do. This is a listing presentation for buyers. So who are you going to have present with you?
Clements or any of these guys.
You are going to have your lender on the call. Who wants to role play with me?
Cam. All right, Cam.
You look like you're going to be tough.
Come
All
on,
right,
Cam.
You called me off a lawn sign.
Come up here. Come here.
It's okay. You can yell at me across the room. Whatever you prefer. Okay, so you're calling me up from a lawn sign. I'm the listing agent.
Okay, perfect. Hello, hey, this is Cam. I'm just calling about your listing off Meadowview, 8306. Are you the agent that can help me with that?
Absolutely, Cam. Thank you for calling about the house. Are you currently working with a licensed agent?
I am not. I've talked to a couple, but no, not currently.
Awesome. So you're not in a contractual agreement with anyone to show you homes and help you purchase a home?
I signed a rep agreement, I think, but I'm pretty sure it expired a couple months ago.
Okay. Do you maybe want to double check that just to ensure that's accurate?
Okay, I'm outside the house, and I'd really like to see it though, because I have a long drive home. Is there any way you could let me get in just for a quick 10 minutes?
Yeah, fantastic. So I love that you're excited about the home, and I definitely want to show it to you. Let's go ahead and set up a 30 to 45 minute Zoom call. This is for you and also for the safety of the seller and myself.
Okay.
What is your email address?
Cowboys84 at MSN.
Perfect. So, and this is the phone number for you that you called me on?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. And is there anyone else involved in the decision-making process? Anyone else who wants to see the home with you?
No, just me.
Okay, so you're going to be taking care of the down payment. You're not getting a gift from like a friend or a family member?
Correct. Yes, my work is going to give me a gift for the move, but yes.
Okay, reload. Gotcha.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. And are you already working with a lender? Has anyone taken an application for you with your credit?
No, I did a quick online app through Rocket, and they said I was good.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead right now and connect with my lender to see if he's available.
Okay.
Great lenders will be available for you on the weekends.
Okay, perfect. Would he be able to, you think, give me a pre-approval today, tonight?
Yeah, most likely. We're going to hop on a Zoom now in about 5-10 minutes,
Okay.
and we're going to, go over everything you're looking for in your next home.
Okay, perfect.
So most people would have been like, no, F off, but thank you. But here's all the things you guys need to find out on that consultation. By the way, I don't care who you are. Like I've had people tell me, oh, I'm related to the such and such family. That's nice. If you can't spend 30 minutes with me, I am not going to open the door. I mean, I have 2 kids. What would happen if I wasn't around? So here are the things that we want to talk about with someone on that first consultation. How important is it for you to know if there are any gifters involved in the situation? Has anyone had their deal tanked because the parents came and hated the house? Would that have helped you if you had known that up front? It sucks when it happens. You want to have your lender present on that call. Why do we want them on the call?
So they can ask questions as a realtor. Some realtors may know and some realtors may not.
Exactly.
But he's the licensed professional that would.
Are we finance professionals?
No, ma'am.
Right, exactly. What are the majority of buyers' questions who are buying today? What are they usually about? Yeah, they're usually about the buying process, about money. And if we're sitting here explaining interest rates and down payments and programs, we're going to lose. It's just not, that's not our expertise. It's theirs.
That's what we do. We sell that. We've done it thousands and thousands of times. So the best chance of getting that happen, and what time kills deals, Jess is right. So when somebody's there, right there, and ready to go right now, if we wait a month, we wait a week, what's the chance of that happening? Slim. But if it's right then and there, they can Teams me or Teams Cam or Teams any one of the guys in the back, and we can talk about it right then and there, let's go. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to help. And we're going to ask the questions to see if it's not wasting your time.
Yeah.
Miss Jess, too. So if we all of a sudden go, oh, well, I just started my job. So I started my own company last week. You know, I'm not making any money. Oh, well, it looked like you had money, but I guess you don't. So we're going to have some we can still find ways around that, but it's going to be trickier. So when you ask those questions up front.
Have you ever had somebody want you to show them a $500,000 house, but they were looking to pay $1,500 in rent? That would have helped you to know up front, right? Can you
All
hit
the time,
thing?
right? Happens all the time.
Can you hit the next slide?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what are we looking for on that phone call? We're looking for motivation. It's just like a seller, same thing. So are they utilizing a 1031 exchange? Who utilizes 1031 exchanges? Yep, investors, exactly. Do investors care about, you know, bedrooms and baths and carpet and granite? They just care about ROI, yep. So now we know how to approach the client. Life changes. So are they getting divorced? Are they getting married? Is their lease up? All of these different things you need to know. The timeline is super important. Why are we going to go out and show somebody who they don't want to move until the end of the school year a home in December? Is that an effective use of your time? No. And financial capability. Again, Brian, like how many times do you get on the phone with somebody after the realtor has showed them a home? They're not even close to affording it.
Yeah, a lot. Happens all the time.
Before you even show that home, this should be happening in the consultation. And then alignment. Oh, Anthony and I go to these appointments all the time. One is like super excited. The other one's like the whole time. Is everyone on the same page, right? So you can see that in the Zoom. And again, you ask the question, are there any gifters? Is there anyone else who's going to be moving into this house? If the husband's super excited and the wife is like, I'm not moving, you might need to make a business decision. Like, this is not an effective use of my time. All right, so what are we going to ask during this consultation? You guys take a picture of this if you want. It's in our Google Drive. So these are the same questions. So we have a pre-qual for going on a listing presentation. This is the pre-qual for a buyer's presentation. So are there any other areas of interest to you? Has anyone ever had somebody relocate and they're like, well, I want to look in South Dallas, I want to look in Plano, I want to look in Fort Worth? Exactly. So now we kind of want to narrow this down. What's important to you about this area? And what you're going to kind of want to dig out of them is like, where do they need to commute to every day? Because some people will say things to you like, oh, I work from home, but 2 days a week I have to go to XYZ place. And maybe you know, because you live there, that XYZ place has awful traffic, like 380. Like many people don't know how bad 380 is who aren't from here. So they're thinking, oh, it's just 2 days a week, but those 2 days a week could really be awful for them. So we want to ask those questions. Why do we want to ask how long have you been looking for a home? Is it a bad sign if someone's been looking for 5 years? Do people sometimes tell you that? Like, oh, we've been looking for years. And then what's the other objection we got? Well, this is the first home we've seen. So we're going to ask questions like, okay, well, this is the first time you're going out. Have you seen any homes that you like online? Can you describe them for me? How soon would you want to move in? Do you need to sell an existing home to buy the next one? What are you looking for here? You're looking for a listing. Yeah, you're looking for the listing. When I first started, this is something that coaching taught me. Like, you kind of stay focused on the task in front of you. But as agents, there's so many other possibilities for business that if we would ask for them, we would get them. Yeah, like so often we would help a buyer and then like find out later that someone else helped them to sell because you never asked. You never said like, hey, I'm a listing agent too. I can help you with that too. So you definitely want to ask that. Are you working with other real estate agents? In general, people are pretty honest. And if you ask them straight up, hey, are you working with other people? They're going to tell you. But why are we kind of afraid to ask that question?
Rejection.
Yeah. And we're a little bit afraid to know the truth. So go ahead and ask it no matter how weird it feels, because then you can dig deeper. Okay, well, if you found that I was more aggressive or you felt I was a better negotiator, would you be willing to work exclusively with me? We don't get what we don't ask for. What price range are you considering? Again, like the lender. Because so often people will tell you a price that's based on some calculator online, didn't take into account the taxes, didn't take into account the HOA. So this is really important. And your lender, it's better for them to describe all of those things to your client than you, because you want two different people that they can go to for help. So if they get irritated with you, then he becomes the good guy. If they get irritated with him, then you become the good guy. So it's always good to have that conversation with multiple people. And then all these other things are just standard questions you guys should ask. Do you guys have any questions so far? Okay, awesome. Okay, have you and your lender, this is where the lender just takes over. Have you determined a down payment? How much do you want to put down? Oftentimes, when you work with great lenders, they can come up with solutions for you. So Edna's not here, but Edna and I had a client that she ended up selling her home for less than she thought she was going to get. There was a down payment situation. The lender like figured out some way to get her $30,000 in down payment money. That deal would not have happened without the lender. So we definitely want them to be involved in the conversation. Are there any other people who need to see the home before you make a decision to buy? How many of you would save yourself so much headaches if you asked this question? Oh, I need to show it to my sister's brother's uncle. Okay, sure. If we see the right home today, are you ready to present an offer? Remember that person who said they're just starting their search today? Do we have to ask them this question? Yeah. If we don't find the right home today, how quickly will I be able to reach you? Have you ever been ghosted by somebody after showing them homes? This is a question to let them know, hey, you're not going to ghost me. We're not going to be doing that today. Are there any other questions or concerns you have about buying a home? Are you open to signing a buyer's representation agreement with me? This is a close. Yep. Make no doubt about it. You are now a listing agent with buyers. You have to close. Have you been preemptively closing the entire time with all of these questions? Yeah. So step 2 is the lender discovery. This kind of all happens at the same time, but you're going to encourage them to immediately do a full application. When you have clients that say things to you like, well, I'm not sure I'm ready to run their credit, should you be taking them out?
No.
Not, yeah. Because are they really serious about making an offer if they're not willing to run their credit?
And I can add to that too. I always blame it on the brokerage. My brokerage requires you to be fully approved before you go out on a. The reason why, and I will say this, you mentioned the lady that lost her life.
Mm-hmm.
How many ladies here carry? Okay. Maybe 2 or 3. The bad problem with that, you don't think about it. So you hear, okay, I want to buy a $1.5 million house. Woo-hoo-hoo. Boom, you go, right? We had one of our agents not long ago, believe it or not, upstairs in her house, and the man trapped her in. Luckily, she had a pistol, okay? So she was fine, okay? But I think to myself, what if she wouldn't have had protection or anything?
Yeah.
She would have probably got molested up there, whatever. So I really, hone in on that. Always blame it on the brokerage. You can even ask them, this is something I do personally with buying. I send them the driver's license up front. If I'm on show home.
Yeah.
I need you to send me your driver's license and information so I can send it over to our lender. That way, if anything ever forbid happened, he's got your information of who you're with, where you're at.
That's a great point. Like the safety thing
Yeah.
of having the lender involved. Like I'm going to know your whole world. After I'm done with you, everything you've ever, like I'm going to know everything about you, and that data is with me, right? So that is a great safety net. Now, okay, we know who he is. He's been vetted. He's able to buy the home. We know that this is where he's at. We know what he spends, his bank statements, his W-2s, his tax returns, his pay stubs, his driver's license, everything. We have that. Give him Jess. Let's go find a home.
Yeah.
She was talking about being creative. So many of this is lender, right? So that's the key thing here. Is like, how can you partner with someone that's going to find a creative solution? And I love that lender that did that. So that's exactly what we do.
I didn't know you yet.
No, I know. But she found a solution.
She did.
Right? She found a solution. She's like, this is not a dead deal. There is very rare that I'm going to say we don't have a solution for this. Like being creative and being solution driven is what we excel in. That's what that's what's going to set you apart from anyone that's out there as a lender. That's why we do what we do. Down payment assistance, 0 money down. He had a 580 FICO, no money, dealing with cancer, but we're able to find a solution where he has no money out of pocket, $580,000 or $500,000 home with a 580 FICO that we were able to get him up to a 600 FICO. That doesn't ever happen, but we found the solution, right? And it's changed his life. He's renting in an apartment. He was battling with stage 3 cancer, and we changed his life. That's what we do, together as a team.
There's so many things that can come up that the lender can help you with. Don't try to do it all on your own. If you're showing condos, like there's litigation, unwarrantable condos, there's so much stuff that you don't know, or most people don't know, that your lender will be able to say, here, I have a solution, I got it. But if they're not aware of the client's needs, they can't provide that solution.
Every condo is different. There's so much that goes into buying a condo. So she's exactly right.
There you go. The buyer's rep. So again, this is more stuff that they're going to ask you when you ask to close. Because when do we get most of the objections? When we go for, when it's time to sign something. That's when the truth always comes out. So when would I know if I'm expected to pay commission? Before showing a property, these facts are disclosed to the buyer when known by the agent. If these facts are not known by the agent, as soon as the agent becomes aware, their ethical duty is to disclose to the client immediately. An offer will never be presented without knowledge of these facts. It is the agent's duty to find out prior to presenting an offer. So this is actually something we've been teaching before the NAR change, because I know some of you work with investors, we had to get our commission from the investor because it wasn't offered. So this is kind of not new. It's just that it's more common now. And there are going to be times where the buyer is going to have to pay the commission, and you're going to have to sell your services to them. So what happens if I'm not happy with the service provided by my agent? So this is huge for you guys. You should have like a partner or a buddy on, at your brokerage to help you, that your clients know, because you don't want to lose the client. Sometimes people the wind blows and they change their mind about you. It's not even your fault. Like maybe the wife thinks you're too pretty, maybe the husband thinks you're too handsome. Like it could be anything. So if you have like a buddy that you trust, let them know your client so that instead of losing the client, you could keep them in the system and split the commission, work out a referral. So for us, obviously everyone uses me or one of the other mentors. If an agent isn't responding to the calls, texts, the service is brought to the team's attention and given an opportunity to rectify. The buyer's representation agreement will then be terminated by the buyer with full authority to work with another agent. So we are then instructing them, let me be clear, I apologize, it was a little confusing. you need to have someone that they can go to before terminating, because you need an opportunity to keep that client. Does that make sense? Because what happens too often when people are not well coached and well trained, for some reason the buyer just decides they don't like you. And now you lose them, that's it. You need an opportunity to figure out, A, we have an issue communicating as a society, like TikTok has made us where we just, or Bumble, or I don't know, something happened, we just move on. But we have to have an opportunity to be able to communicate and rectify the problem together before losing the client. Does anyone have any questions about that?
So everyone is using it.
It's okay.
It's recording.
I like it. Does anyone have any questions about that? If you don't have anyone you trust at your brokerage, then we can introduce you to ours. What happens if another agent offers me incentive to work with them? You may not cancel the buyer's representation agreement simply because a better offer has presented itself. An agent is dedicating their time, expertise, and resources to assist you. Signing a buyer's representation means you are committed to working with each other. You should be leery of agents offering kickbacks to their clients. When is the last time your doctor gave you a piece of the insurance money?
Never.
I remember when I first moved here, there was like a thing where they would give back 1% to their buyer, like that was their business model. And I didn't understand it. I'm like, whoa, like, why are you doing this? Honestly, those are not your clients. If people are just looking for deals from you instead of the service that you provide, get with better clients, because they're going to treat you bad the whole time anyway. They're probably not going to refer anyone to you, and the people they do refer are probably not great humans just like them. So, explain that to people, because sometimes they're just uneducated, so, educating them will help. Sometimes they're just deal makers, and it's better to avoid them. What happens if I change my mind about purchasing a home? Do I owe you anything? So here we go, keeping the relationship and getting something out of it. Because does everyone we help buy a home from us? No. They just don't. A thank you for the time and effort is all that you owe. If you feel your agent has provided spectacular service and is worthy of a 5-star review and or a recommendation to your friends and family, this is how buyers who aren't quite ready to pull the trigger reward our agents for their excellent duty. We understand that buying is scary and never want a client to feel pressured into something they don't want. We will be here for you whenever you are ready. Our coach calls that the friendly goodbye. So now, do they feel like, dang, I can't call them back. They're going to be mad at me. Or are they like, oh, yeah, I'll call them when I'm ready? What do I get for paying 3%? This is what's on everyone's mind, right? So I could teach a whole other class on how to, present yourself and present this. I'm just going to give you the quick explanation. My duties to you are to assist you with locating a property to suit your needs, negotiating a price and terms that are acceptable to you, to negotiate repairs, appraisal problems, and ultimately to help you get the home you want at the price you want and the time you want. So this is the most important, to get you the home you want and the time you want at the price you want. If you break it down, everything you're going to do for them, that's really what it is. And when people say things to you like, because this is going to happen, why don't I just go to the listing agent? I don't need you anymore. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, have you ever been divorced? Would you have gone to that divorce without an attorney? If anyone is, like 60% of Americans now have been divorced, so chances 6 out of 10 are going to say, yes, I have. They wouldn't. They wouldn't go to a divorce without an attorney. They wouldn't go without representation. This is a huge asset. Why would you go there without any representation? Any questions so far? Nope. I give this to them as a packet, by the way, so that they can read it, but I actually do go through some of these questions with them during the consultation. I hear that most agents just want to sell homes and don't care about my interests. Is that true? Why do I put this in my packet? Yeah, that's what everyone's thinking. So I go ahead and answer it. While some agents in this industry opt to operate in this manner, we have been in the business since 2013. Our business is built on repeat clients and positive reviews. We will always be transparent, providing you with data and analysis pertinent to your bottom line. You guys are welcome to copy that. I don't care. Whatever works. So step 4 is showings. So we've gone through all the tough things, right? We met with them online. They filled out the application. They signed your buyer's rep. What happens now? This is the easy part. This is the easy part. So everyone, when I say this, like walks out the door or hangs up the phone. I'm going to comb the inventory for you, and I'm going to show you the 3 to 5 best homes, and that's it. I actually have a limit. I will not show a client more than 10 homes. If it's more than 10 homes, I refer it to someone else. Yeah, it overwhelms them. And the truth is, I really am combing the inventory. Like, I have asked so many questions about exactly what they want. I've honed in on the exact area where they want to be, the features of that home, the communities that would be good for them. So the truth is, like, I really know what they want. And if it doesn't exist on the MLS, I'm going to go out and door knock to find it. Or I'm going to call the right homes to see if anyone's ready to sell. So it's not just a matter of us looking at the MLS and finding like whatever's 500 to 550. If you do this right, you'll probably spend like a few hours on it. And then you're going to present the 3 to 5 best options, and they're going to pick one. If they don't pick one, I'll get to that next. So you're going to show the properties, you're going to ask the client to choose one to make an offer, you're going to write the offer, discuss the terms of negotiation. I explained to them what a door opener and a showing assistant is because I don't actually show any homes. I do everything else, I don't show homes. So what you want is for them you want to future pace your client so they know what's coming, so it doesn't feel weird, they don't feel passed off, they don't feel like you're too busy. If you tell them this from up front, they're like, oh, okay, that's their standard operating procedures, no big deal. Ensure that they know how to communicate with you and then continue future pacing them and overcoming objections. So what kind of objections do we usually get when we're out showing homes? When they've seen 5 homes and they don't want to buy one, what are the objections you guys get?
I don't like the neighborhood.
Okay, perfect. You know what? I totally understand. So you told me that you really want to be in Frisco ISD and you want to be close to your job at Denbury Resources and you need 5 bedrooms, right? So in order for us to achieve that location and that size home, the price would need to go up. Are we able to increase the budget at all? No. Okay, so the budget we can't increase. Now, what if we were to go a little bit further out, like say Little Elm or McKinney? Understood. So the only home that we're going to be able to find at that price, in that location, that size, is going to be a fixer-upper. It's the truth.
Yeah.
So this is probably the most important thing I teach you guys today. This is how we truly help buyers. Because these are the 4 things that dictate where a person's going to live, and one has to change. If they cannot change price, they have to change location. If they can't change location and price, then it has to be size or age. And if it's none of those things, then they're unfortunately not able to buy. What are some other objections you guys get?
So I love this. I want to throw one more at you.
Yeah.
Too. So a lot of people look at it as this is my 10-year, 20-year. This never is that way. You know, teach them, show them how this is just maybe a 2-3-year home. Let's build equity. This is why this is an amazing investment for you and your family. Let's pull cash out of this, and then we'll go buy your dream home next in that same area.
If they're savvy, for sure.
And I teach everyone that. So, okay, well, maybe I should think of this more as an investment to buy this now. Because, so if DFW over the last 10 years is almost 10%, which is crazy. Okay, so what's to say it's not 5%? Right? So every month you wait, it's going to cost you more. So that sense of urgency to do this now, maybe sacrifice some of these things now, where I want to be, and then this is a temporary home that can turn this into an investment in the future is a great strategy to maybe get over. Well, I don't see us living here for 10 years or 15 years. We don't have to. Let's hang on to this, or maybe we sell it in 5 years, take the equity from that, then go buy your dream home.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna make more money in 5 years? Absolutely. You think is this gonna increase in equity in 5 years? Absolutely. Can maybe in 5 years go as you make more money, as you grow, as this house increases in value, take that and go buy your $1.2 million home? Absolutely. I'll help you do both of them.
Usually when it comes from him.
Yeah. You know, you're absolutely right.
You know why? You know why, by the way? Because I do it.
All my clients.
That's because I do it. That's so
Especially
key.
first-time home buyers. He's amazing.
Well, if you're going to teach, you need to be able to do.
And I will add something to that, Brian. One thing we've had, I get a lot of people when the interest rates were 7%, 8%, they'd be like, well, I'm just going to wait till the rates come down. Well, he would explain that to them, and I would come in and automatically say, no disrespect, but what is the interest rate on leasing? And they're like, well, what do you mean?
I actually love that,
And I'm
Jace.
like, it's 100%.
I've probably stole that from you a few
Even
times.
Even if you paid 7%,
Oh,
with
that's
Brian
pretty
and got
funny.
it done,
Yeah.
you're building future value equity. And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, you're right. So I will tell you, not that I'm pushing Brian on you,
Wow.
but he is one of the best in
That's
DFW. So if not
Very
the best.
kind.
So
But-
let him dive in with your clients.
And it
Yeah.
helps to tag team objections too. It's always going to help to tag team
absolutely.
objections.
And I'm
Absolutely.
getting my blonde hair back that I started letting him do that.
So what other objections do you guys get from buyers when you're out in the field?
That's a great question.
None? You guys are closing everybody you meet?
The objection I get from first-time home buyers a lot
Yeah.
is just not knowing. A lot of them believe, unfortunately, what they see on the media. Now's not the time to buy, you're gonna drown.
Yeah, that's more of a condition than an objection
Right.
because they've kind of already made up in their mind that now's not the time.
Right.
With people like that, I'll just show them data, like you just said. Do you want to pay 100% of someone else's equity, or do
Right.
you want to pay into your own? And if they just don't want to, we can't convince somebody to do something they don't want to do.
Yes, ma'am.
But I agree.
Culture wants. Some of them
Like a door facing, yeah. Yeah, we have to be super sensitive to that because we cannot convince somebody to buy a door in a direction that's not, acceptable to their religions. So, we kind of just have to adjust probably price or the location of where that door is to be in the right location that they could buy. Because it's just a limited supply. It's which direction is it? South they don't want to be? Yeah.
They're all different.
they're all different.
Yeah.
It's Fatsu. So if you want to, what I've done so much, if y'all aren't using it every day, is asking ChatGPT these questions, and it will help you understand.
Yeah, that's a
this.
great idea.
Like I had to understand why the 21st was not a great day to close, but the 20th was a bad day to close, but the 21st was. And so while I'm talking to him, he goes, "No, we can't close it on the 20th because of our religious objections." So okay, well I'm asking ChatGPT, and he tells me, and I was very much impressed my client by knowing, well, I see because of the moon and the stars, the 20th is not the right day. And I made a joke about it. He goes, "That's exactly right," But he loved that.
You know that in high rises in New York, they took out level 4 because
They
Asian
did.
buyers will not buy on level 4.
Believe that, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very similar where we sell here.
Yeah.
I have a big developer that was in my office the other day from India, and he told me that DFW was like 50% of all, and I have to fact check him on this, but he told me that 50% of all immigrants from India come to Texas. It's like, wow, that's crazy, of the whole country. I believe it, too.
Do y'all have any other objections you want me to help you with, role play with you?
I love objections.
Any other things when you're out there in the field with buyers that they're throwing at you?
I have one.
Go ahead.
On the 3 to 5 homes that you show,
Uh-huh.
right, how do you help them narrow it down? So say they like 2 houses kind of the same and one that just, okay,
I'd suggest making an offer on both.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Especially if we're like the market that we were in 2 years ago, or if it's a super hot area where they're seeing multiple offers, I would say let's make an offer on both.
okay.
Because they can always get out of it. Just keep the option money low so they're not getting stuck with $800 option money.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Of course. I was trained to be ultra aggressive. Some people may feel that that's unethical or not want to do it. You don't have to do that. It's the way that we were trained up north. Any other questions? Objections?
So if someone just signed a new lease and not really ready to get out of that lease, how would you work around that?
If they're in a building, usually it's very easy to get out because the building will generally make you pay like 2 months and let you leave. And we would try to negotiate those 2 months into lowering the price or some sort of concession. If it's a private landlord, it's very easy to publish that. Like you can market the house for them to try to find someone to take over the lease. That's a great question.
That was a great answer. You don't hear realtors say that very often. I love that answer. Like, I'll help you find your house
Yeah.
a tenant.
I've helped people find roommates. I'm like, anything to get the deal done.
That's a great answer.
There's actually offer incentives to get tenants out of their lease too.
That's good to know. Which ones?
I mean, just as long as you talk to them, most of the time.
You could just ask them. That's great. I actually didn't know that. That's awesome. Anthony, you have a question?
Yeah, so I haven't run into this situation yet, so I was curious now with the NAR settlement, the commissions aren't disclosed in MLS. So if you have to put an offer in for a buyer, and we don't know what the commissions, maybe the agent doesn't want to disclose it until the offer is submitted, how would you go about that conversation with them? What percentage commission?
The seller's agent?
Yeah, like, so say you're talking to the listing agent on the phone, and they're like, we're not gonna disclose, the buyer's agent.
Are you
commission."
having that experience where they won't tell you? Yeah.
I've been on the other side where
It's good to know.
calling me and I've been disclosing it right away.
So typically when people saying things like that, they want you to negotiate. So I would throw it in the offer with your offer, asking for it to be paid. And then obviously you're going to want to future pace your buyer to let them know like, hey, we're going to ask for this, but they can say no to anything. And there is the chance that just like our buyer's rep says, you might have to pay some sort of commission. But it sounds like when they're not disclosing or not telling you, they're basically asking you to make them an offer. And if someone's asking me to make an offer, I'm going to put in the offer that I'm getting paid.
Right.
But find out if there's other offers.
What I see happening is like a multiple offer situation, but they don't want to disclose it because they want to see who's going to pay the most buyer commission out of pocket.
So, well, you're going to want to find out if it's multiple offers. You're going to want to ask those questions. Having conversations with listing agents is generally, as long as they're normal human beings and not weird, we never know. Most listing agents want two things. They want a deal that's going to go through, and they want a deal that their client is going to accept. So you can keep asking them questions until they give you that information like, okay, well, are you guys looking for list price? And if they don't sound too excited, are you looking for over list price? Are you looking for 2% over list price? Are you looking for 5%? If you keep asking questions, they're going to let it slip. And they're typically not going to get mad at you or hang up on you because they want you to make an offer.
Or probably the seller hasn't signed that new form, the 1412, to disclose information, what's on new form. But, the seller has to authorize the buyer's and the seller's agent to disclose any information
Yeah.
until they receive an offer. So you never know what's going on with the seller and the agent.
True. Sellers are a little funny nowadays.
Okay.
They can be. So, oh,
Go back.
I think it was almost done.
Mhm.
Does everyone in this room know what future pacing is? Anyone not know what it is? Future pacing is always talking to people as if things are already happening. So when you show the home, well, would your couch fit here? The fireplace, is there enough room for your TV here? Oh, what a nice wall for that piece of art you have in your, if you know them, that you have in your house. Always future pace people as if things are already happening. When we're making offers, I'm typically talking about the welcome home party. What's that called? Housewarming party. Talking to them about the thing that happens in January with the taxes. Homestead, yes. So always future pace people as if this thing is already going on. Because two things are going to happen. If they're excited and they're really going to close, they're going to be excited with you. If they're like kind of wasting your time and not serious, they're going to let it slip. You're going to see the truth. Always be ready with alternative solutions to everything. So I appreciate you asking that question about leasing. Like some people use that as like, well, I really like it, but I'm not ready. Have a solution. I'll help you find a tenant. I'll give you an attorney that can help you file constructive eviction. Always have like solutions for your clients. Another thing that we always like to do is I'll set them up with the moving company, with handymen, so that they are like already thinking about what's actually going to happen. I do that from the beginning, like from when they sign the buyer's rep. What questions do you guys have for me?
Do you have any objections with buyers wanting to look at wanting to find a house to look at versus you doing the search?
Yes, and I love it when they do that. I'm like, great, send me like the 10 to 20 that you love. Let me see if those fit the, criteria that you're looking for, if they're still available, and I'll try to help process the ones that they like. I actually like when they do that.
Because you get an idea of what they need.
Another thing that I've learned here is find out if they have special needs children, because there's some great schools like the Shelton School and different schools that they're going to want to be close to. So try to ask them like if they have any special needs children or schools that they want to be close to.
I have a question. You have any, I guess, suggestions for like relocations, whether relocating from another city that they can't see the property because maybe in an Austin or Florida moving to town?
Yeah.
How would you get them to 3 to 5 bed home that way?
I've never had them not actually come. Have you had people not actually come at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that Matterport and video is great for that. In my experience, and probably I work less buyer transactions than you, is they look at everything with the Matterport, the floor plans, the videos, and then they decide, I want to see like these two. These are the only two I like when they get here. And then they pick one. But I haven't had where they picked it for themselves from another place. Only investors that have done that. It's a great question.